Hey guys, reading these articles really reinforced what I've seen throughout my nursing career, that nursing can be very stressful at times, and pretty much all the time it's at least a little bit stressful. Some nurses are affected by this more than others, of course, but everybody to at least to some degree. And if not taken care of, it can start to manifest itself in some very bad ways, such as nurses developing depression, having anxiety, becoming socially withdrawn. It can even have physiological effects such as cardiovascular or gastrointestinal disease. And with that being said, it's super important that a solution is found. And it seems like the solution to this is twofold. That of nurses receiving education on coping mechanisms and coping skills, and that of the environments we work in becoming less stressful. And along that vein, the IHI paper focused a lot on how this might happen. The model that it gave, the 4-step model, I think is fantastic. And if used properly, nurses will become empowered, will feel like our voices are heard and important, and that our organizations are listening to us and care about us. But I feel like there's one potential drawback to this model, and that's the first step of the model, that management might become overwhelmed with ideas, with things that need to be changed or could potentially be changed. And because of this overwhelmed feeling, they might not know where to begin, and because of that, essentially either not begin or not begin change, or changes a lot slower than what it should be. However, if used correctly, this is a fantastic idea and a fantastic model to follow. In the system approach model, the first example that resonated with me is that of participative management. I feel like in nearly every organization that I've worked, both inside and outside of healthcare actually, there's a lack of engaging with employees before enacting certain rules or certain protocols. And going along that same vein, the second example is in the system approach model is that of choice and autonomy. Some of the smartest people and most insightful and bright people that I know are in fact nurses, and I feel like a lot of times this goes to waste, that a lot of good ideas and insights aren't utilized, that management essentially doesn't allow us to work to our full potential. Moving along to the last part, the change idea to test, I chose using consensus decision making, which falls under the category of participative management. I chose this because, for me at least, and I know for a couple of other nurses, a large part of stress is when we don't know what's expected of us as nurses, and feeling powerless to changes that are being made. But with consensus decision making, for example, there would be an idea that's proposed, and there would be input from different nurses about that idea or about that protocol, on not necessarily if it should be enacted or not, but what could be made better about that idea or about that protocol. And I feel like this is a small example of what could be done right, but I feel like it's an important example of something that could be done right in any organization, but particularly the place that I work. Well, that's about everything. Thanks for listening, you guys.